Good afternoon. I am Andrea Chisholm with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the words Spot and Media. Residents in St. Thomas took to the streets again this morning, protesting deplorable road conditions. As was the case yesterday, the plea is for their elected representatives to fix the roads as they have been suffering for too long. TVJ's Shamela Mitchell is in St. Thomas and filed this report.
People are adamant about their concern being addressed, that is the poor road condition. I am on the Baptiste Main Road. As you can see, the road right now is blocked. Cars and other debris to block a section of the road. So right now, no one can come over onto this side or go over onto the other side. We have been speaking to residents and this is what they have to say.
Yeah, the people are going like them so are going. The truck man are drive from this road. That's part of the problem too. Because when they come with them overload on the same road. And the same problem I mash up the road. You see me I say, everything well, I'm today, it will happen and it will happen like 10 or 20 times more. You see me I say? Because these people in Jamaica don't take St. Thomas serious. And if something happens in St. Thomas, like a tragedy, nobody remember it.
Also coming into St. Thomas, the Grand Spend area is also blocked. You can see heavy vehicles. They have been parked on the side, lining both sides of the road coming in. They're not able to pass because the area is now a single lane. Huge stones, trees and other debris, they also used to block that section of the road. So coming into St. Thomas might be a little difficult as well as going out. How long have you been in traffic? How do you feel about what's happening here? How often do you use this road? And what do you think about the poor road conditions that the people are protesting about? Reporting from St. Thomas, I'm Shamela Mitchell for TVJ News.
And still in St. Thomas, 5 persons were rushed to hospital this morning after a tree fell on their car. TVJ News understands that around 10 o'clock, a tree which was being cut to block a section of the road did not fall at the same time. The tree later fell, injuring all occupants of a Honda Civic motor car. One fatally in a brazen daylight attack in Chapelton, Maypen on Monday. Reports are that around 11 a.m., the men were at a shop when 3 men alighted from a vehicle and started shooting at them. The attackers escaped in the waiting motor vehicle. The injured men were rushed to hospital where Richard Bailey was pronounced dead and the other man admitted. TVJ News has learned that Mr. Bailey had an ongoing case before the court. The Clarendon police are investigating. And 1 man is dead after he was gunned down early this morning in the Spanish Town bus park in St. Catherine. Vendors and commuters say they are now fearful for their lives. A vendor said since the soldiers were removed from the bus park, the level of violence in the area has increased. They are calling on the authorities to have the soldiers return so things can go back to normal in the park. The government is one step closer to establishing a single anti-corruption body to clamp down on corruption in the public sector. Earlier this year, both houses of Parliament approved the Integrity Commission Bill. An update in this report. The Integrity Commission Bill paves the way for the establishment of the Integrity Commission. It's a merger of the Commission for the Prevention of Corruption, the Integrity Commission, and the Office of the Contractor General.
Only last week, the Governor General sent me what they call the velum copy. This means that the law is now ready. And very shortly, the Governor General will appoint 5 commissioners. And once the 5 commissioners tell me that they are ready to put the law into force, then I will sign off.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck was speaking at a recent function to install 85 more justices of the peace. He reminded them to uphold the rule of law and maintain their integrity as they volunteer their services.
I expect all of you to be persons of unblemished character. And don't care and don't worry about your reputation. If you live a straight, narrow, decent and upright life, people can talk as much as they like behind your backs. If your character is intact, people will know. And if your character is blemished, don't care how you talk about trust me and I am a decent person, people will know that you're a scoundrel.
Meanwhile, with the services of Justices of the Peace in high demand, Mr. Chuck explained that his ministry is actively recruiting more persons.
Tonight we have 85, and Wednesday in St. Catherine, we are commissioning 237, and they have another 200 being trained and will be commissioned shortly. In truth, I would like to have, within the next year or two, at least 10,000 Justices of the Peace.
Authorities at the Holland Primary School in St. Elizabeth are worried about the frequency of break-ins at the institution. The school has been reportedly plagued by thieves over the past weeks. TVJ's Kelisha Williams reports.
3 break-ins in a matter of 2 weeks at the Holland Primary School in St. Elizabeth. Food supplies for students which were stocked in the canteen and the staff room were the main items stolen. It is believed that the persons involved entered from the canteen on both occasions and moved to other areas of the school. Principal for the school, Simone Doctor, is concerned.
They broke in on the 19th of October and they also broke in on the 20th of October. On the 20th in the day, we had replaced the locks and everything, and they still came in on that night to remove the locks and remove whatever remainder food that we had. Chicken and rice and saltfish and all those stuff.
Over the weekend, the remaining food supplies were moved to the staff room, but again the thieves struck, removing all those items.
Even though we had less food this time, because apparently we were preparing for them, so we didn't have that amount of food in storage. But they still went in and they took the break supply, they took whatever else that we had here. The Member of Parliament, Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, he had replenished some of our supplies, $20,000 worth of goods, and that was what we were using over the period of last week.
Ms. Doctor is also worried that students and staff may also be at risk. She's sending a message to the persons involved.
The school is here for all of our benefit. If you destroy the community, the school, you are destroying the community. So I am appealing to those who are doing it to stop.
Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
Butchers in Manchester are this afternoon arguing that their source of income is in jeopardy. This after the Waltham Abattoir in Mandeville was closed by the parish's health department for public health breaches. Details in this report.
Approximately 52 butchers in Manchester are expressing frustration over the protracted closure of the Waltham Abattoir. They say the facility, which is owned by the Manchester Municipal Corporation, has been closed for maintenance work since August, and nothing seems to be happening, and it's costing them. The butchers on Monday staged a protest in front of the abattoir and called for answers from the Manchester Municipal Corporation.
Butchers are in a deep problem. Today you hear is Tuesday, tomorrow you hear is Friday, and up until now, up until today. It's problem. We are asking for some help. It's not a new building built. It's because of their fault why we have to close for maintenance work to be done. For so long.
The butchers say they were initially informed that the facility would have been closed for only 2 weeks. They say the prolonged closure is now seriously affecting their earnings. They are now contending what will happen with the festive season fast approaching.
Christmas season approaching, so why we need this slaughterhouse, man?
In responding to the concerns, Mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, says the Waltham Abattoir, which was one of several establishments in the parish ordered closed in August, will reopen on Friday. Mr. Mitchell says the government is spending $7 million to carry out renovations to the facility to bring it in line with public health requirements. Mr. Mitchell says while the work is still underway, permission will be sought from the health department to reopen the facility.
We have done some work. There are 3 outstanding issues, and as I speak, we're about to dispatch a letter to the MOH acting, Dr. Williams. I've spoken to the Chief Public Health Inspector, who has given me her commitment that once she has gotten that letter from us, which is a commitment to do some things while they seek to reopen the abattoir, we will have the abattoir open this Friday.
Mr. Mitchell says the additional work to be done includes the construction of new pits and modernizing the wastewater system. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Residents of Sandy Bay, Clarendon have raised concerns about water going to waste on the main road for the past 3 weeks. The people say a pipe which runs across the roadway broke and volumes of water are being pumped out. They're calling for the issue to be addressed before it causes any accidents. At least one person is concerned he may be billed for the water being wasted.
If them have the big main, they should just put a pipe over there, because people, when they run the water, people never live on two sides yet. Here we don't know who are the concern of it, because they understand nobody come fix it. And we should wait until I send somebody come fix it. It's somebody.
Cleanup operation is underway at the Ray Ground Market on West Queen Street in downtown Kingston following an early morning fire. 4 units from the Jamaica Fire Brigade responded to the blaze, which started around 4 o'clock. The firefighters conducted cooling down operations early this morning. More in this report.
200 wooden stalls were destroyed. A shop and an adjoining building on Pigeon Street were damaged. Some vendors told TVJ News that they have lost several barrels of goods which were in a storeroom. Between sobs, the vendors recounted what they have lost. The vendors say they have lost thousands of dollars in new and used clothes, among other goods. 69-year-old widow Eugene Smith said she lost 2 barrels of goods.
And some good shoes, and me have a barrel with stock with some good gears in there, because nothing of that sell during the period of time. But I know some we have them coming up in the November to December, and I've lost everything. I have no other source, no help. Nobody will stretch out to me if me want a night dinner. If I come and not sell out at the barrel, me have to do without.
13. You understand what I mean? Him don't go to school, 13-year-old one, no money. And like say really no money this morning. That lunch money I've got to cook something for the day. Such a levels of that. I come at home with a sell $1,500 because it's the old clothes. Them know the king of the village. And that's why them I burn it so.
They're calling for Prime Minister Andrew Holness to provide assistance. In the meantime, the vendors are calling for the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to increase security at the market. One of the vendors believes the spate of market fires has resulted from inadequate security.
Fire, back to back. Year before last year, and now the early part of November. We can't take it no more. What we are going to do for Christmas? Me have my grandpitney them for look after, my dead left grandpitney them for look after, and I eat me live after. They look at old clothes them and they look at new clothes them. And place more secure. We need security in the place because we are pay our money that them can build up fence and get security in here.
Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, toured the market this morning. He said an investigation into the spate of fires will be launched. The cause of this morning's fire at the Ray Market is still unknown, but the mayor says the KSAMC will ensure that it addresses the security concerns when the restoration process of the market gets underway.
And we do apologize for that technical difficulty. Of course, that was Herman Green ending that report about the fire at the Ray Market in downtown Kingston. In news overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump's arrival in Seoul Tuesday is being accompanied by a major show of force in the Pacific. In the coming days, it's expected that 3 U.S. aircraft carriers, accompanied by guided missile destroyers and submarines, will be conducting a mock battle in the waters in the region. The show of power by the U.S. forces may be seen by North Korea as direct provocation. We go to the CNN for details.
We're working to counter the dangerous aggressions of the regime in North Korea. The regime continued development of its unlawful weapons programs, including its illegal nuclear tests and outrageous launches of ballistic missiles directly over Japanese territory, are a threat to the civilized world and international peace and stability. We will not stand for that. The era of strategic patience is over. Some people said that my rhetoric is very strong, but look what's happened with very weak rhetoric over the last 25 years. Look where we are right now.
And in sports, 9-time and defending 2016 Walker Cup champions Kingston College is high on confidence as they seek to defend their title. They take on last year's beaten finalist Jamaica College in the Issa Flow Walker Cup competition at 5 o'clock this afternoon at the National Stadium. The defending champions remain unbeaten for the season in the nation's schoolboy football competitions. The North Street-based team defeated the boys from Old Hope Road last year 2-0 to claim the title. And of course, TVJ and Hits 92 FM will have live coverage of that match beginning at 5 o'clock. And that's the Midday News. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon.